All right, there we go. Greetings, everybody out there in the watch loving world and other places. I want to talk a little bit about Tudor today, the sister company to Rolex, and the Black Bay line, and just things in general. But anyway, Hans Wilsdorf, the founder of Rolex and Tudor, when he founded Tudor, I'm going to quote the founder of Rolex and Tudor. He said, "For some time now, I've been considering the idea of making a watch that our agents could sell at a more modest price than our Rolex watches, and yet one that would attain the dependability for which Rolex is famous. I decided to form a separate company with the object of making and marketing a new watch. It's called the Tudor Watch Company." So, the original Tudor watches, and some of them up until the early 90s, they used a Rolex case and a lot of times an ETA movement. They put a Tudor dial in the watch, and they mirrored a lot of the Rolex watches that were out. Now my little, I have a Tudor date day that's in for service right now, and I'll be getting it back. I'll make a video on that, but it's a gorgeous watch. It looks like a Rolex Oyster case, 36 millimeter. It has the day date function on it. It has a Cyclops on the crystal, which I absolutely love. The Cyclops is an invention of Rolex, and it just makes it look like the sister company of Rolex. So to me, that watch, 36 millimeter, is the essence of the Tudor Watch Company. It's a watch with the quality of Rolex, but at a more affordable price. And if you want to know what the Rolex day date costs, they're precious metals, they're pretty expensive. So the Tudor variety of that is probably 1/10 the price, which is great for me. I know I'm going to love this watch. It's going to be like my dress watch. Well, anyway, today I'm wearing my Seiko King Turtle. This is one of my favorite watches. It's built like a brick outhouse. It has the day date at 3 o'clock, which I love, and it's a dive watch. So I could swim with it, I could do all kinds of things with it. But for the price, it's hard to beat this watch. And you can see the time is 3:05 p.m. So another thing I want to talk about is the Tudor Black Bays. The Black Bays are similar to the Tudor Submariners. The Tudor Submariner was built from 1954 to 1999. And then they stopped building it, and they came out with the Hydronaut 1, and then the Hydronaut 2, and then different watches. But the Tudor Submariner was a mirror to the and a less expensive option than the Rolex Submariner. So if you want to get a Submariner by Tudor or Rolex, I would advise you not to get the Black Bay, because it's a Black Bay. It has a lot of similarities to a Submariner, but it's not a Submariner. That's just the way it is. Now, I've owned a couple of the Black Bay 41s. I've owned the PO1, which is a heck of a watch, and it was a Submariner prototype in 1967, I think. The only problem I got with that is how the bracelet hooks onto it. It makes it difficult. Otherwise, it's a pretty nice watch. But it's not a Submariner. So if you want a Submariner, you're just going to have to buy either a Rolex Submariner or a Submariner date from Rolex. Or you could still go and get the Tudor Submariners. Now the 40 millimeter size Tudor Submariners are going for crazy prices. This shows the demand for a Tudor Submariner. So I think my dream watch would be a 2024 Tudor Black Bay Submariner in a Rolex case from the 124060. Could you imagine the sales of this watch? It would be crazy. I would pay the same price as I would for a Rolex. I'm telling Tudor right now, I'd give them $9,100 for a 41 millimeter Tudor Submariner in 2024. They probably won't do it. They're probably not going to listen to me. But the demand is there. If you don't believe it, look at the prices of the 40mm Tudor Submariners. They're $8,000 to $9,000 right now, and their last one was made 24 years ago. So my number one advice to everybody: if you want a Submariner, get a Submariner. If that's a Tudor Submariner, get the 37mm. It's a little bit better price than the 40, and they're still obtainable. Japan has a lot of good watches. There's some in the UK. They're really nice watches, and they're a real Submariner, not something called a Black Bay that looks like a Submariner with a snowflake hand from the 1969 Tudor Submariner. No, get a Submariner. And if you want a Rolex sub, get it. Nothing else is going to satisfy you. I'm telling you from experience. Now I'm trying to wind down my watch collection and just have a few watches. And probably sometime in 2024, I'm going to do a state of the collection. And then I figure I'm going to call it. This is it. Because it's just not practical to continue to buy and sell watches. Sometimes you make money, half the time you don't. You break even if you do good. So, you know, collectors cannot compete with these big companies. So, but my advice to everybody is, if you want a Submariner, either Tudor or Rolex, then that's the watch you get. Because no other watch is going to satisfy you. It's going to be an almost. And almost doesn't get it, except in World War II munitions and hand grenades. Okay, if you like my video, hit like, hit subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.